Hello there. This video will show a complete rundown of the fastest off-road vehicles in Grand Theft Auto 5. This is the final video in my series showing the fastest vehicles in each class in GTA 5, and if you haven't seen the other videos, check the description down below. The leaderboard positions will be determined by the combined lap time that each vehicle achieved on cutting corners and the off-road track field trip. For more information, check the description down below, but otherwise let's get straight into it. So in 5th place we have the BF Injection, which managed a combined lap time of 2 minutes 19. In the top right hand corner in big numbers you'll see the combined lap time, and in brackets in smaller numbers you'll see the lap time for whatever track that you're currently watching, and it'll always be cutting corners first where it achieved a 1:06 here, and then field trip where again it achieved a 1 minute 13. There are a lot of other cars in this class and I did test all of them on cutting corners, and if you want to see the lap times that they achieved they will be in the description down below. I'll also talk more about how I tested all these cars in a little while. So in 4th place we have the Blazer. Now the Blazer was actually very good on cutting corners. It actually managed a 1 minute 2.1 here, and it was kind of like a bike lap time, and that put it into 2nd place on cutting corners for all of these cars. But as soon as you got to field trip it only managed a 1 minute 15.0, and it kind of lost that ability to use its really good traction and lost out in terms of raw power. That gave it a 2 minutes 17.2 overall and put it in 4th place just in front of the BF Injection. But now it's time to get into some really serious times and serious cars, and in 3rd place we have the Dune Buggy. The Dune Buggy is a very quick car and it managed an overall lap time of 2 minutes 14.8. It actually got a 1 minute 4.1 on cutting corners, and then on field trip it put in a 1 minute 10.7. So, you know, very quick in both instances. It was actually 4th fastest on cutting corners and 3rd fastest on field trip. And it's very good, you know. It can be a little tail happy every now and again if you don't control it right, but it's very quick when driven correctly, and it will reward you for good driving essentially. And you know, it's very nice car to drive, and it's very quick, and that's why it's it managed to get 3rd place in this listing. And really it wasn't that far off 2nd place as well, because our 2nd place car is what you probably might expect, the Bifter. The Bifter is a very quick car, and it only managed a 2 minutes 13.8 overall. So over the 2 laps it was only 1 second quicker than the Dune Buggy, and that, you know, it was about an average of 0.5, half a second quicker than the Dune Buggy on, you know, field trip and cutting corners. So it wasn't that much quicker than the Dune Buggy. It just had that little bit of extra power that gave it the edge. 1 minute 3.7 on cutting corners made it the 3rd quickest there, behind the Blazer, and then of course with a 1 minute 10.1 it was the 2nd quickest on field trip. Again, the same with the Dune Buggy, it is quite hard to control at times. It can spin out quite easily. And I think that's just because of its its power behind the wheels. But yeah, it's a very good car, and you know, you can certainly do a lot worse than the Bifter. And remember that these cars are our top 5 out of about 20 different possibilities, so all of these 5 are really in a class of their own, and then the top 3 are just sort of an extra class again. Having said that, the top vehicle is in another class entirely. The Sanchez is the only vehicle to make it into 2 of the videos that I've done showing the fastest vehicles in each class, because with its 58.2 on cutting corners it was also the 6th fastest bike. So yeah, it managed a 2 minutes 7 overall, and consider that the Bifter was a 2 minutes 13, this is 6 seconds quicker across the 2 laps. It's just so much faster than anything else, and really it should be no surprise because it's a bike and bikes are always quicker. So, strictly speaking, the Sanchez is a motorcycle. It isn't an off-road vehicle, technically, but it can be used in off-road races, so that makes it our number 1. Just one point to make is that the Sanchez is pretty useless unless you wheelie. Without wheeling, it only got a 1 minute 13 or something on field trip. But if you have to wheelie, it's the same with all of the other bikes, you know. If you wheelie with them, they will go a hell of a lot faster. But I'll just have a quick word about how I decided to do this. So, first of all, I tested everything on cutting corners because off-roaders are a legitimate class to use on normal tracks. You know, you can use off-roaders on any normal tarmac tracks. So I decided to do everything on cutting corners so it was all comparable between all the other videos that I'd done. However, when I got to field trip, the Blazer messed everything up, because the Blazer came second in cutting coroners, but then it was 5th on field trip, so it just messed everything up. So I had to think of a way to present the information to you that made sense and give it the best overall off-roaders. So that's why I decided to combine the lap times, and I think it's worked out quite well. You know, there are a few differences in terms of the Bifter was sort of 3rd on cutting coroners and 2nd on field trip, and then it came 2nd overall. But it doesn't really matter that much, because the Sanchez destroyed everything on every lap, really. It didn't matter. You know, a 108.8 is a good nearly 1.5 seconds quicker than anything else on here, and it dominates all the leaderboards on all of the off-road tracks. So yeah, the Sanchez is the quickest, really. There's no getting around that, and with it being, you know, the 6th quickest on bikes as well, you know, there was no real worry about that it was ever going to come anything other than first. So yeah, if you really want to win those off-road races, you've got to be using the Sanchez, and you've got to get that front wheel up. So yeah, that pretty much wraps it up, guys. I hope you enjoyed this one. Just as a final sort of a final confirmation, these were the lap times on cutting coroners. As you can see, the Blazer was 2nd, and the Sanchez was way out in front. But as soon as you go to field trip, the Blazer goes back down to 5th, and all of the other cars and vehicles stayed in the same positions. It was only really the Blazer that had any movement, so that was the one that messed everything up. So yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. I hope you really enjoyed this. You know, it's the one that you wanted to see after the bikes. So I hope it's helped at all. If it helped, if you liked, you know, give it a like, share it around, all that good stuff. Subscribe if you're new to the channel. Thanks a lot for watching, everyone. Thanks a lot for the support as always, and I'll see you next time.